Good evening, neighbors. By now, you may be aware that the Governor DeWine has issued a stay-home order. This comes to no surprise to us. We've been working on this issue. We've anticipated that this could come at any moment. As of today, we have 442 cases in Ohio across 46 counties. So it is very important that we act and act swiftly. And more importantly, not to overreact, not to panic, as we're in great shape in our community to continue to provide services to our most vulnerable residents. You've been hearing us speak over the last 3 virtual town halls of what we're doing to put in place to ensure that no one falls through the cracks, that everyone that needs access to a safety net, that we will work towards building that safety net and work towards providing that service. And that's precisely what we've done over the past couple of weeks. We've been preparing ourselves for when the moment would come that there will be a stay-home order. And it has come, and I am proud to say that we have a wonderful group of committed individuals in our community that has been working tirelessly to ensure that we have the safety net for all of our residents. And joining me tonight, we have a new group of speakers that are going to speak not just on what we're doing as a community, but what resources we have in our community and how you can engage those services to ensure that no one falls through the cracks and that we're prepared not just for the short-term efforts, but for the long term, tomorrow and the days to come, to ensure that all of our residents will get along, will get the resources they need and to get ahead, and we'll do so together. And then there'll be more work ahead of us to prepare and act on the recovery. So joining me tonight is Mary Ann McQueen, Vice President of Council, Johnny Burns, our Director of Public Works, Colin Altman, Fire Chief, Police Chief Brian Carlson, Cheryl Wynn from the Greene County Public Health, and Kat Walters from the Yellow Springs Community Foundation. And now we'll pass the floor to my colleagues. Mary Ann McQueen.
Okay, am I on video or not? Yeah, okay. I'm on audio and video, right?
Yes, you are.
Yes, okay, great. So I wanted to tell our community, in case they hadn't noticed, that Village Council as a body has really stepped back in this effort as a body because of the Sunshine Law. However, as you will probably notice, and as Josue has said, other people are definitely stepping up. And in a way, it might be politicians getting out of the way to let the people lead. So I appreciate everything that everyone has been doing. In multiple ways, people have shown up, whether it's sewing masks for healthcare workers or organizing food to take to people, finding places for people to shelter. Various groups are working together, and individuals are working as individuals as well. And the thing that this most reminds me of is a couple decades ago when we came together as a village to save the Whitehall Farm. This, of course, is a much different situation, and it involves much more than Yellow Springs. I think what it is showing us is that we are exemplifying what it means to be a resilient community. A resilient community is a community that is able to adapt to change. And that word has become more popular than the word sustainable as we have been looking at the kind of changes that we think of for climate change. In this case, it's not to do with climate change probably, but I think we are exhibiting our resiliency. And I want to thank everyone who's involved in doing this. I'll stop now and turn it back to the next speaker. Thank you, Josue.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Johnny Burns.
Thanks, Josue. Hey, once again, I'd just like to iterate that we are working at half staff and we are still out in the village doing things. But one thing that the public can do for us is to, I know I've said it every time I've been on, but not flush anything besides toilet paper down your commode. this is going to stop up the system. It's going to cost time and effort to get it unclogged. It's going to back up the whole system. So if you could, again, take note, don't flush anything but toilet paper, and understand that we are there. If you need us, just give us a call.
Thank you, Johnny. And now we'll hear from Colin Altman.
Can you hear me now? All right, cool. As was said earlier, we're up to 442 confirmed cases in Ohio. And unfortunately, this is not a surprise. We all knew the numbers were going to increase as more and more testing becomes available. There's more and more hospitalizations as well, as people are being tested and discovering that they're ill. These are not numbers that should surprise us. They're not great to see, but they're going to keep going up. Today in the press conference, Dr. Acton said, when asked by a reporter where we were on flattening the curve, that the curve is still going up and we're climbing up it. So we have a ways to go. This is why the governor and Dr. Acton issued the stay-at-home order. It's no different than what we were doing. Other than now, Dr. Acton says you have to stay at home. Does that mean you're stuck in your house all the time? No. You can still go outside. You can still go to the grocery store. So go to Tom's. Tom would love to see you. Get your groceries. Go to Kroger if you need a big adventure. You can go to the pharmacy. You can go to the bank if it's open. You can go to the post office. It just means that if you want to run out to Old Navy, it's closed. It's not essential. You really only need to be out for trips that you need to make. But the governor did specifically say in the order, you can still go outside for recreation. And like I said last time, we want to urge you to do that. Now is the time to work on de-stressing. There's nothing as stressful as being stuck up in your house with your kids screaming around and trying to do homeschooling. Get outside, take a walk, keep your distance, socially distant, but do that. Walk down to Dino's, get your coffee, walk back home. Go for a run. This is a great time to take up running. We got nothing else to do right now, so let's go running. Work out, play with the kids, take the dog out, those kind of things. De-stress, meditate, whatever you have to do. It's very important. One of the things Dr. Acton has said, which kind of stuck with me, one of the great quotes from her that's going to be on a t-shirt someday, I'm sure, is that life is not shutting us down right now. Life is waking us up. And we can take that a lot of different ways. But I personally like to take it that it's waking us up to our potential. And one of the things that I've loved about this community in the 30 plus years I've lived here is that this community rises up to meet these things. And as Marianne was talking about with the Whitehall Farm purchase years ago, we're doing the same thing now. It's inspiring to see people checking on each other and working together to help each other out. And it's a wonderful thing. Let's keep doing it. So de-stress, check on your neighbors, stay home when you have to, especially if you're over 60, and we'll get through this together. And as always, if you need us at the fire department, give us a call at 911, or just call us on our non-emergency number if you just have a question or want to talk. We're there. So back to you, Josue.
Colin, thank you so much. And now we'll hear from Police Chief Brian Carlson.
Good evening, everyone. I've got a couple quick messages here. First, I want to say we sent out a hyper reach today, and I think Megan Bachman's going to have it in the newspaper. But we're asking everyone to be diligent about locking your car doors if you're not, if the vehicle's parked. Please lock your home doors, keep your porch lights on, your garage door down. What we are experiencing right now are some youth roaming about at night. So I ask parents to help us keep an eye on where our kids are. And it's business as usual for the police department. The other topic that I was asked to talk about once again were potential fraudulent phone calls, emails, or messages regarding donations for the cause. Again, I reiterate, if you don't know who is calling and you haven't vetted the caller, I would politely decline. And then you can also ask for the phone number and give them a call back if you want to check up on the call. Our best suggestion, once again, is to contact the Yellow Springs Community Foundation, and that number is 767-2655, 767-2655, and they will be able to help you if you're interested in making a donation to the relief efforts. One last thing from us, remember, you can always go to ohioprotects.org. That's ohioprotects.org. There's instructional information there where you can learn about fraud, and you can file your complaint there should you have one. To mirror Mary Ann, this is a time when though we have to be separated, we are coming together and we are adapting, and we will overcome. And don't hesitate to contact the police department, non-emergency, with any questions that you might have. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Chief. And now joining us today is Cheryl Wynn again. She's from the Greene County Public Health Department. Cheryl?
At the County Emergency
sorry.
Operations Center. Pardon?
Sorry to interrupt. We had you muted, so
Oh, okay.
you can start again.
Good evening. Just wanted to share that the County Emergency Operations Center is partially opened and it's virtual. We have worked with them to establish area command mainly for the management of resources. We are, as a public health agency, planning for the surge in confirmed cases. We are working epidemiological investigations. And earlier you had asked about the case in Greene County. I think it is actually public knowledge that the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base case is the one that is in Greene County. We continue to monitor information and as it comes in from the CDC, from the state, et cetera, as all of us have been. And we continue to push out information, guidance that come across for specific sectors of the community. We received today a limited cache of personal protective equipment from the state that came from the Strategic National Stockpile that the CDC holds. And we will be working to assess needs. They will likely go to critical services such as the hospitals, EMS, law enforcement, long-term care facilities, and potentially other medical facilities. It really was a small amount, but we are actively looking for ways to get additional PPE into the community for our frontline workers from kind of non-conventional sources. We've had some dentists and other places that are donating PPE, and those resources are being managed through our office with the help of the Emergency Management Agency. And we're reviewing our plans, and our office also is practicing social distancing. We have a lot of people that are working from home, and we've made some adjustments in some of our services. For plumbing permits, people will have to mail those in. We're trying to get a Dropbox situation where things can be dropped off, plans, etc. We're still doing TB skin tests, HIV tests, and we're still running our Safe Trade. Oh gosh, I should have written that down. 2 days a week. I believe it's Wednesday and Friday that's still running on a limited basis. And our WIC office is operating by drive up. They're conducting their interview and the information they would normally do in the office over the phone, and then dispensing those WIC vouchers to people to their cars. So that's a new thing for us to, again, respect the social distancing, try to limit the contact as much as possible. So, and we have also worked with the coroner's office on their plans to just make sure that they're prepared for any surge. storage that might be needed. There is a plan for that, and there are arrangements made if that should be needed. And I think that's about it. That's new.
Cheryl, thank you so much for all the very, very wonderful information,
You're
much
welcome.
needed information. And now we will hear from Kat Walters, Yellow Springs Community Foundation.
Hi, I'm Kat Walter. I'm the program manager at the Yellow Springs Community Foundation, and I have a couple updates. We have put in place neighborhood block contacts, we call MBCs, that Pam Conine has set up for us. And this week, they will be distributing questionnaires to every household in the village, inquiring about specific needs. We have lead coordinators for the village who have been set up and will be contacting each of these neighborhood contacts very soon regarding these steps in the next day or two at the most. So all households be paying attention for the questionnaire to come, and the neighborhood contacts will be in touch with you about how to retrieve the information. Volunteers, we still have a need for volunteers in the community, and that will be ongoing in a variety of areas, and that will change as we get going as well, including those with mental health counseling background, as well as volunteers to help take on project management tasks. If you're interested and able to help in any capacity from home, if you need to, that's fine. Contact YSCF at yscf.org, or the phone number 937-767-2655. And I'm providing this information for a slide that the village can have to run so people can check in. But please contact the Community Foundation for either of these needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kat. And when we'll have all of this information available in slides. We're working on creating a video that would play on a loop on Channel 5, and it'll also be distributed throughout our digital channels, that being Facebook and YouTube, so that you, our residents, can check in on this information or have this information whenever you need it. So we're working on ensuring that you have access to that information. So now we will transition over to questions. We have some questions that came in after our last town hall meeting, and we would we'll answer these questions now because we think that everyone would find this very useful. First question, and Kat, this may be for you. Where and how can people donate food for those who may need it? Where is the pantry?
We currently do not have another pantry set up, but we will be working with food donations very soon. Melissa, if you have anything to add to this, that would be great.
Yes, we're working with the Yellow Springs Community Food Pantry currently. They're serving, they have been serving our community for years now, and they will continue to. As the need and demand increases, we will increase the supply that needs to happen. Also, please continue to watch the little free pantry, which is behind the Presbyterian Church and across the street from Mills Lawn. That is a place where residents can go and get food and supplies that they need, but also to donate food and supplies that others may need. So keep that one stocked periodically as you walk around the village on your walks, and keep checking in to that little free pantry. That is also another great source.
Kat, follow-up question to that, and Melissa. You mentioned the little food pantries. Are there other ways that folks could access the food pantries?
That's a great question. Like I said, currently the Yellow Springs Community Food Pantry is open the 2nd and 4th weeks of each month. Then we will be looking at if the demand is there, that we will perhaps see about increasing the availability of a pantry to be able to serve a larger population. Currently also the free and reduced school students, the free and reduced lunches that school students qualify for, their families are being served this week with about 120 or so dinners as well. So that is something that the Yellow Springs Community Food Pantry is going to be helping with. But as the survey goes out to the neighborhoods, please let us know what the need is, and we will do our best to try to satisfy that need in our village.
Melissa, thank you so much. We have another question come in. What is the community doing to help address homelessness? Brian, is this one that you can take on?
Yes, yeah, well, is Florence, I think Florence is on the line and she might jump in here.
I am on the line. We're working with the center in Xenia, the homeless shelter, so that when we have people.
Florence, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you speak a little louder? Our audio team is having a issue bringing over the sound.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
That's much better. Thank you.
I am working with Bridges of Hope and in Xenia, so that when we get a request from a homeless person, if they can be housed there, they will. There are other shelters for women and children or single males with a child, but those are individual requests and they're handled individually. If there are any questions, you can call 767 760, I'm sorry, the police department, I'm sorry, for help. The number is 937-767-3716 for direct services for the homeless. Those cases are individual, so it's kind of, not just a cut and dry help.
Thank you so much, Florence. And our next question, and this one's for you, Cheryl. This question's around anti-inflammatory medications. Is it good or not good to take?
There has been a lot of talk about the impact of ibuprofens or anti-inflammatories for people who are infected with the virus, that it does cause some additional problems. I'm sorry, I can't speak real specifically. So our advice is to err on the side of caution and not use those, to use Tylenol instead for fever reduction and pain relief. Something that's not an ibuprofen for that if you were to become infected with that or the flu or anything. If you don't know for sure that you don't have the coronavirus, then you would most likely be safer with Tylenol. There's just been a lot of reports regarding it, so not worth the risk.
Thank you, Cheryl. Our next question. Since the governor announced that he would be starting to make cuts of up to 20% in each state department due to a projected decline in tax revenues, will the village be looking to do the same soon? What cuts are likely? So this one's for me. We started discussing among our department heads on what projects, particularly capital projects, we needed to reconsider should we have a significant loss in our revenue streams. And we also did an analysis or brief analysis of what potential revenue could we lose as a result of this pandemic. And if you recall from our budgeting process and our end of the year presentations, the revenue sources that we have are property taxes, income tax revenue, lodging tax, gas tax, and then there's a few miscellaneous fees like permit fees and a few other things that come into our revenues. What we expect to have a significant loss in revenue streams is related to our income tax and our lodging tax. Now, our income tax makes up a significant amount of our revenue stream. So we anticipate some losses there. We're not sure what those losses are going to be and for how long. This is still a changing situation. We could be out of this situation in weeks, or it could be months. We don't know, and we're relying on the experts and the modeling, and what they're saying. It could be a while, and so we're planning for what are some of the worst case scenarios and what that means for us financially. And we're starting the preparatory work to review our budget and see what we need to do to make those adjustments to be able to respond effectively to the changing environment. Now, on the capital expenses, we're looking at all of our capital expenses, and if there are things that we think that could be delayed, we will delay them. And so that's the commitment we can make now. We want to ensure that we are financially healthy, and anything that can wait will wait. Now, there are some projects that are not, we are not able to wait. We all know that we have some sanitary sewer line issues. We have a lot of infiltration and inflow, and a lot of it is due to deteriorated sanitary lines. And that's work that we must get done, because if we don't, we risk sewer lines collapsing, and that's going to cost us a lot more money. So where we're able to reduce costs, we will. So that's the answer to that question for now, and that's continues to be a work in progress, as it is for the governor. They're all evaluating what cost savings they could identify, and we're doing the same, and we hope that in a couple of weeks, we'll have a better idea of where we could identify savings and what savings could be made, and what other things we can do to be in a better financial footing. Okay. We have another question come in. Please explain to people how to donate to Yellow Springs Community Food Pantry. Kat and Melissa, I think this is for you again.
Melissa, you got that one?
Yes. The food pantry, gosh, you know, I don't have the address in front of me. I wasn't ready for this. Sorry about that.
The address is 202 West Winter Street.
Thank you.
South Winter Street, sorry.
So they accept checks currently so that they can purchase food for the pantry itself. So I would highly recommend that people send donations directly to them.
Kat, I have a follow-up question. Would the food pantry prefer money or food donations?
Currently they're not prepared yet for food donations. They are managing in a very small space that they want to try to have as few people in the space as possible. When and if that time arrives, which I believe will be pretty soon, we'll be getting the word out to the residents that we will have a program that will help get the food to the church, the food pantry.
Thank you, Melissa. I want to remind our viewers that you can call in your questions, and we have someone staffing a phone line, and you can also send us your questions via YouTube and Facebook. So the phone number to call in your questions is 937-767-3402. So you can call it in, or you can go on Facebook, type in your question, or go on YouTube and send in your question. Philip, do we have any additional questions? Okay. All right, that's the questions that have been submitted so far. So we'll give it a minute or two, see if other questions come in. While we wait, do any of my colleagues have any additional information to share? Any additional advice?
Josue, it's Brian. I'd just like to remind everyone to hang in there. The folks that have come forward to help and assist our fellow citizens, it's just been amazing. The police department, fire department, we appreciate the calls and the well wishes. It means a lot. So thanks, everyone. We will be through this.
Thank you so much, Brian.
There was one thing I forgot to mention for vital statistics. If someone is in need of a birth certificate, we are doing that online only at this time. So thought that'd be good to share as well.
Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. I don't see any additional questions coming in. Okay. All right. Anyone else have any other parting words? Melissa?
Yes, I just want to remind people to go to the Community Foundation website and donate to the funds there. There are some new funds being developed that can help target areas that donors have an interest in. The current community COVID-19 fund is primarily going to be put towards food insecurity, but we're also developing a couple more funds that donors may also want to be active in as well.
Josue, this is Jalen Rowe. You might want to let everybody know again how to access the Facebook page or the YouTube channel.
Thank you, Jalen. And we're going to switch over to the list of resources. Sean is putting that up on the video feed. So I'm going to go through the list of resources, how you can continue to stay engaged with us and receive regular updates. One of those resources is the Yellow Springs newspaper, and that's ysnews.com. They have a dedicated website on all the updates that the various entities are providing. So you'll find updates on the schools, on the restaurants, on the government, and the community-based organizations on that site. We also have a website for the Community Foundation, and that website is www.yscf.org. And this is where you could request assistance, and you can also sign up to volunteer. And you can do so by calling the phone number 937-767-2655 or sending an email to yscf@yscf.org. We'll also continue to have these virtual town hall meetings for the village and the township. This is a good way to get updates on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we'll continue to have these at 7 p.m. The video feeds here are broadcasted through Channel 5, YouTube, and Facebook. Our channel on YouTube is the Community Access Yellow Springs, and our Facebook page is Village of Yellow Springs. We also have various other websites that folks are recirculating, reposting information. That's the Yellow Springs Bulletin Board. Yellow Springs Bulletin Board, and there's other discussion pages. We encourage you to stay connected to those sites. And also we have a great radio station, WYSO, which is 91.3 FM, is broadcasting public service announcement and providing regional, state, and federal updates. We also have the Yellow Springs Chamber of Commerce website, and that's www.yellowspringsohio.org. The Yellow Springs Schools website is a great resource for parents and students, and that is www.ysschools.org. You'll always have access to our village website, and that's www.yso.com. We also encourage you to stay connected through our HyperReach system. Police Chief Brian Carlson mentioned this, the use of the HyperReach system today. It's a great resource to receive very timely updates, and you could access that on our website, yso.com. There's a link on the right-hand corner, says contact me in emergency, or it's the second image on the front page banner. And again, there are also 3 other resources that we encourage you to watch and stay connected. And that's the Governor DeWine's daily press conferences at 2 p.m. and the coronavirus.ohio.gov website and the coronas.gov website are all great resources to stay informed of what's happening. We have a question that just came in through email, and the question is, will cleanup week still happen in May? We hope that we're back to regular operations in May, and if so, we'll maintain that schedule. But if this goes on longer than that, we think that it'll be prudent to reschedule that to a more convenient time or something that works for all of our residents. Okay. Any more additional questions? Great. Well, that's for all the questions. And so if there are no other further questions and no additional comments from my colleagues, I would like to close this virtual town hall. And I want to end by saying that I know this is trying time for us. It will test all of us, but we are certain that as a community practicing shared leadership and collaboration, we will get through this, and we will do so together while also ensuring access to essential services, food, shelter, and a safety net. We look forward to partnering with you in this endeavor, as this will require all of us. It will require the participation of the village and the township. We encourage you to connect with us through the various platforms that we have prepared for what's ahead. Facebook, all the phone numbers we mentioned. You can also call me or email me. My information's available on our website. And see us as a resource. We're here as a resource. We're here as a partner. We're here as a community. So please connect with us. And with that, have a good night.